Okay, this is the basic drain down that I did just before the cold spell back in December of 22. First thing I did was I turned off the stopcock. I then fully opened the taps. Bearing in mind this is just the basic drain down that I did in December. It's now January, but I'm just going through the motions for this first part of the video. And I did notice that only a small dribble actually came out of the taps, but that's probably because the stopcock is a lot lower down. But there was a little minute bit of water that came out. I'm going to now leave both the hot and the cold taps open, removing all the plugs. In the bathroom or the shower room, I once again opened up the taps, both hot side and cold side. Once again, not a great deal of water came out, and then after that I left it in the center position on the mixer tap and removed the plug. With the shower, as before, opened up the taps, allowed all the water that was in the pipe to come out, and now I placed the shower hose in the bottom of the bath. Once again, leaving the tap fully open. The toilet I flushed to empty the cistern. Before I go outside, because I've still another couple of things I need to do, just briefly about the boiler. This particular boiler, once it gets to below -5 degrees, it will kick in. So for that reason, I'm going to be keeping my gas and my electric, which powers the system, on throughout the period. Right, this is underneath the kitchen sink. Hopefully you can see this, but I've got a drain down plug there. And likewise, there's another one there. So one there and one there. I'm going to use a 9mm spanner, and I'm just going to simply undo the nuts at the bottom, and water will drip down from that. And what that's doing now is any water that's in the pipes will drain out through here. And I'm going to be doing this to this position and also below the shower, and because there's 2 bathrooms in this particular caravan, I will also be doing 2 on the other side. So I've got 6 in total, and the ones underneath the boiler I'm not going to go anywhere near, because as I said, I need to keep the boiler running. Okay, you can see the other 2, these are below the shower, and once I've opened them up, don't fully remove them and just leave them in the open position for the whole time that you're away. Okay, that's the last of the 6 drain plugs now closed up. What I would suggest is a little bit of WD-40 won't go amiss if you attempt to do it this way. Okay, the last thing that I did outside was, because I've got an outside tap, I've removed it. That's optional, you don't have to. You can just simply have it open at the tap itself, but I removed it because there was something I wanted to do with it. But what I want you to look at is in there you can see that there's that white Mercedes style emblem. That's important, so if you can remember that, because later on in the video you'll understand what I'm talking about. That is a one-way valve that basically allows water to come out but nothing to go back in through the pipe to contaminate your water supply. Okay, the last thing that I did was I got some antifreeze. I got this from a company online called Marine Superstore. I think I bought 3 bottles in total. Came to about £51, I'm not sure. It worked out roughly about £17 a bottle, so maybe about £54. That was Marine Superstore. So all I did was I poured antifreeze down into the plug, into the basin, and then into the bathroom. Poured antifreeze down into the cistern, into the toilet bowl, and obviously the shower plug hole and the basin plug hole. Make sure that you use proper antifreeze for static caravans, not for vehicles because it'll damage your pipes. Okay, this is the Flow 868. It's a very good device, I must admit. It's quite costly, as you can see, nearly £300. But the idea behind it is that you put it in your caravan, you plug it into the mains, there's a tube that comes out which you attach to your water supply, and then when you turn on the Flow 868, it will push air into the pipes after you've obviously turned off the stopcock, open up your taps, and it will force all the water out. As I said, it's quite costly. If you're going to be there for some time and you're going to be doing it about 2 or 3 times a year, then it's certainly cost effective. But I personally didn't want to go for this, but they do. It takes about 4 minutes to do a drain down, which can be good if you're there for the weekend, you're going to go home, there's a cold spell, so you can just do a quick 4-minute drain down. Okay, there's another device made by the same company, and you just simply attach this to your outside tap. At the end of the device there's a threaded attachment which your tire inflator to, and then it works on the same principle. You're going to push air into the system, open up your taps, and then force all the air out. Now this only works if you've got an outside tap, and as you can see it costs £46. I'm sure you can get it a couple of pounds either side of that. If you think back to a little while ago, I said about a one-way valve in the tap. Now you would have to remove that to attach this, otherwise you wouldn't get any air into the system. Rather than remove the tap, what I did was I purchased this little device here. This simply goes onto your existing tap. It's a 3/4 thread on it. It cost £9, and I'm going to show you now how I actually constructed an adapter, which would save you money if you wish to do a drain down this way. So these are the items that I purchased. This is an elbow. It's a speed fit or push fit. They work on the same principle. Very, very easy to actually use, and that cost me £1.88. I also purchased a straight tap end connector. As you can see, we've got a 1/2-inch thread there. That was slightly more expensive because we got this brass fitting, and that cost £4.48. I bought the tap end that I can put my tire inflator into, but because of the nature of the threads, I had to purchase a 3/4-inch bush, a 1/2-inch nipple, and that would fit to my tap connector, like so. Those two attachments that I purchased there, the 1/2-inch to 3/4-inch was £1.18, and the nipple, the 1/2-inch nipple, that was £1.38. Because I'm going to be using 15mm pipes, I bought these 2 inserts, which gives you a better seal, and you'll see me using those shortly. And sadly, I had to buy 5 meters or 3 meters of 15mm plastic piping. I only need probably about 6 or 7 inches, so if anyone's at Canberra Sands and you need any speed fit piping, then leave a comment, or you can contact me on the Facebook page, and I'll gladly give you a few inches. Okay, this is how we're going to actually make this little adapter. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but on the speed fit 15mm piping, you can see these little marks here. That is the distance that they will go into the elbow, or indeed the tap connector. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to simply make a mark just on one of those lines, depending on how long I want it. I'm just going to simply go for about 7 or 8 inches. I've got a pipe cutter here. Just simply open this up, put this in, line it all up, and just cut through like so. These little pipe inserts, they were only about 45p each. I put one in there, one on the other side, like so. And then the elbow, obviously this is going to go into my existing pipe, and this is the one going into my little device here. And all I'm going to do is push that in so it goes right up against that other line there. Okay, that's firmly locked into position now. And I can get my tap connector, make sure this is open, then simply push this all the way in. Once again, tighten it up. And you'll notice that now it's tightened, this little piece here has come away, likewise on the other side. So that is now made nice and firm. I can now just simply attach this to my little device. And that's it made. All in all, £19.38.